Hello everyone. I'm very sorry that I haven't been able to do this vlog with your answers. I've just this past month has just been really just crazy. I've been busy, as you can tell. I'm bright blonde, but yeah, I'll update everything. Update you on everything that's happened actually on another vlog. But for today, we shall do some answers. Okay, the first question was for the Christians. um just before I go on, actually, I'm going to do actually is just read out all the answers that people gave me, but you can draw your own conclusions from that. But I'm going to do like mini conclusions of my own kind of thing. But yeah, first question was for the question: why do we spend so much time trying to figure out signs and symbols or secret societies? And one person said, I guess sometimes as Christians we find it hard to comprehend that there is a big force of evil out there that has many powers. We acknowledge the presence of the devil, but we are skeptical when it comes to his powers. So we're sort of testing the waters. For example, they said, I might develop an obsession with demons to see if that's true that I will get possessed. And another person said, spending too much time on that when you know it's there, what more can you find out? Instead, you could be getting to know God more. Um, which is actually why my question, why I actually asked this question, because I felt like a lot of people were spending time trying to find out more about the secret society instead of finding out about God. Anyway, another person said, as a conspiracy theorist initially, then a Christian, I was shocked when the Bible confirmed that the agenda of the Illuminati was initiated by their founding father Lucifer, the light bearer, or as the Greek mythology refers to Prometheus. Most Christians go on about it because it is blatant in these times and according to the word. All prophecies foretold as far back as Isaiah come into pass. And another person said, some of them may think that Illuminati signs should be exposed because the children of this generation are copying these signs thinking they're cool, not knowing they're actually allowing certain demons to enter their life. Um, And then the last one about the Freemasons, Jesuits, and Satanists. As you see, there are two ways of looking at it. If you're studying prophecy, you cannot help but try to understand what role all these groups play in fulfilling it. If people use the same groups for scaring people into following God, then they fail because we follow God because we love Him and not because we're afraid of Satan. And that's actually quite true. You know, some people do use this to say, "Oh, you're doing this. That's of the devil. No, you should go. You should, believe in God. He will protect you, or something like that." And I don't personally think it's a good way to go about it. But um, I guess the answer is most of that is people spend so much time doing like figuring out signs and evil is to try and warn people, but I think it can get a little bit far, and then we forget the original reason why we actually wanted to, warn people. But okay, second question: is it okay to keep in touch with exes? People said it depends on why you broke up and in what context is one keeping in touch with an ex. If I break up with someone because they're moving away, we can keep in touch if it's a bad breakup. Um, oh no, we can keep in touch, sorry. But if it's a bad breakup, it's better off keeping away from each other to avoid being tortured by emotions over and over again and hurting yourself more, which is true. And somebody else said no, unless you're stalking them, then it's okay. I guess okay for some. It depends how serious you two were, but if you're trying to move on, then it's not a good idea. Um, and somebody else said yes, it is, no doubt. Another person said it depends how the person feels about their ex and how things ended. Personally, I talked to two of my exes. That was just one person. And then somebody else said it depends on how the relationship has had developed. If you're young and you're in another relationship, I think it's better to break off all ties. It doesn't mean you'll be enemies, but avoid situations where you and your and your new like boyfriend or girlfriend will raise questions, kind of thing. And then they went on to talk about marriage. If you've been married and there are children involved, you have to have a relationship based on that. In all cases, as Christians, we have to live at peace with everyone, including those who have hurt us. Um, But I think that one, you can't really have a conclusion for that one because it's just a personal thing, really. If you want to keep in touch with you, it's up to you. But emotionally, um, you might just be really putting yourself in a situation where you don't want to. But yeah. And then third question was for black people. Do you go for light skin or dark skin people? If so, why? And somebody said, personally, I go for anyone. It's all about what the person has inside and not outside, and if our personalities are compatible. And somebody said, a bit cynical, but anyway, I dislike all people equally. You find out that most people suck or and are flakes. Um, Another person said, me personally doesn't matter. And another person is light skinned or mixed race. The skin looks so much smoother and softer. Questionable. But anyway, next person said, personally, I don't care, but I know that my wife is going to be Chinese. So, okay. Next person. Black or white, we're all the same under the skin. We bleed the same, hurt the same, and love the same. In a world that has become a global village, what should matter the most are values, social ties, and managing the relationship. All relationships share the same risk, and unless you are sick, a racist, there should be no problem with that. I think the last one just summed it all up, really. I think that personally, it shouldn't matter who you go for. Um, it's not something that you should really segregate people saying, oh, I only go for certain people. But hey, that's just my opinion. The fourth question: what race does a mixed race person belong to? Oh, this one was a bit. It got a lot of good and negative sort of vibes from it. But somebody said it's a confusing question. That's why why I encourage us to be to people who are like us, so that we don't confuse our offspring. Ooh, um, somebody could really fight you with that one. But anyway, somebody wrote in capital letters the human race, which okay, fair enough. And somebody else said both mixes of which made them mixed race. It happens because of society surrounding that person, but that could be happen to any color. Um, and somebody else said they belong to a black race because the black is a stronger color than white and it dominates. So whatever mixed with black, it will fall under black, even though they know that they fall under black because black rules. Oh, okay, I'm not reading the rest of that. It's just a bit. Anyway, somebody said mixed race. And somebody also, the last one, said, being mixed race myself, I believe even discussing it is very unfair. No one asks which group the red, black, white, and yellow people belong to. As far as relationships are concerned, I believe they should not be based on what color you are. Lastly, on a lighter look, at the rate the world is going, if Jesus does not come soon, we will all be mixed race. Um, for me, I don't know. I think that I not that I don't know actually. I do know. I feel like they should have their own race. Does that make sense? Whether it's black or white, whether it's Chinese and white, whether they should just be misraced. They shouldn't have to feel the confusion that I've seen with so many people actually. Because that question actually came from the misrace because we were having a discussion about how most of their life they've always felt pulled apart by the other half of the way they come where they come from kind of thing to be one thing. Why can't they just be both? Like somebody said, a mixed race. But anyway, fifth question from an unbeliever: if God knew the world would end up like this, why did He create it? One person said to prove the point that we all need Him. Another one said because He is God and He shouldn't question how He works, question how you work. Interesting. Um, Somebody said he was messing. He thought it would be funny to mess with people. Okay. God knew what the world. God knew what the world knows. Oh, God knew what the world. God knew what the world. And He knows what's going to happen in the end, and He knows it will end good. Okay. And somebody said God created the world based on love, and all we can. Sorry. God created the world based on love, and all we can do is choose to follow Him or not. You are right. I think it's because of something I said. It is hard to explain to a non-believer, and that is why the question cannot be answered in one phrase or sentence. It's all about choice. He did not want to create robots, which is quite true. At the end of the day, He created human beings out of love, like the person said, It's a hard concept to imagine something like that, but I don't know. It's to me, it's one of those things that it makes sense, but I can understand why it wouldn't make sense to somebody who doesn't believe in things. But yeah, um, we can if somebody has more questions on that, I can definitely do like another vlog more on it. Do you believe there's life beyond this planet? Was question 6. Somebody said yes, but he is not intelligent. What intelligent being would want to come to Earth? Okay. And somebody said yes, there is, and somebody said hell no, we is the only creatures alive. The other planets are like toys or brain teasers for us to wonder and search if there's life. Um, them conditions are too harsh for life. Okay. Um, somebody said, yep, God wouldn't create loads of planets and galaxies just for decoration. And somebody also said, yes, there is life on other planets, but not as we've seen on sci-fi channels. The Bible talks about the unfallen worlds and indeed heaven. Um, I don't know if I can conclude on that one. I do believe there's something out there. What it is, I have no idea. Question 7. Who is more unfaithful, men or women? I think women are more unfaithful and also good at never being caught like men, someone said. And someone a little bit cynical also said men are dogs because women like them to be like that. Questionable. But anyway, somebody said it's women because men are considered more unfaithful because they don't really hide it. In some cases, we brag about it and make it public knowledge. So in a way, we're honest, but females are more unfaithful because they keep it under wraps. So they seem innocent, but they're lying. They cheating more than us. Um, somebody else says men are more unfaithful, yet women are less trustworthy. And somebody else said, modern research has shown that in the UK, women are more unfaithful than men. Go on the research site and they will show you that different results in different countries. I guess things like culture, belief, peer pressure affect the results. Personally, I think it could be either. It could be both. It could be women are just as unfaithful as men or whatever. But I think it's one of those things that yes, women would be very good at keeping it under wraps and stuff like that. So in a way, would never really know. I mean, it may seem like yeah, they would be more unfaithful since they can keep it quiet, but they may get away with it more. But does that mean they're more unfaithful? Question 9. Does all life have to end? Someone said no. Someone said yes, life got to end. Um, I mean, it's bad enough to run into 70-year-olds something. Okay, I don't. I'm sorry. There's a person who kind of wrote in, trying to cut down words, and I cannot read it. Anyway, somebody said life never ends. The flesh dies, but our soul lives forever, whether in heaven or hell. Okay, and somebody said the Bible says the love of money. Sorry, I must have mixed up all my questions, but yeah, that was it. And number 10, actually, yeah, number 10. Should other races be allowed to use the N word? The N word isn't an affectionate one, but I guess I have a really cool and close white friend, and they can call me that. I guess if I have a really cool white friend, it's almost like I use the B word. Doesn't mean it's offensive. It doesn't. It's I don't mean it as an offense when I use it on my friends. Somebody said it's not a nice word no matter who says it, and somebody said again they started using the whole word in their answer, so I can't really read that out. And somebody said no in capital letters, so I'm guessing against that. And somebody said Niger, I'm guessing, is the German word for the color black, used by one race as an oppression tool. I think whoever uses the N word is racist in a way because why use a term that was used by an oppressor of your brother? They might as well go around calling each other slaves because that's what it really means. I think that sometimes young people lose the plot and forget their history. Slavery ended 100 years ago, and racism is still life around us. Why are we so naive? It's not funny or cool, and I think that's really true. I actually do not like it when people use the N word. Um, I'm not saying I've never used it, but the more I think about it, the more degrading it is. And I think the last answer I read, somebody said, "Why don't we just go calling each other slave and make that cool?" it's exactly the same thing. But anyway, thank you so much for your answer.